I want to know. We had a conversation on here about your top 3 or top 5, I forget, Marvel movies.
Yeah, you did top 3. You did the top 3.
Yes. I want to know who's your top 3 Marvel heroes. Dirty Dan, take me off. What is your top 3? And start at number 3. Don't be like me to start at number 1.
Yeah, no, you know.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Number 3 is going to be Iron Man.
Okay.
I think that's self-explanatory why Iron Man.
I understand. Whatever your reasoning is, go ahead.
Well, look, I'm a Batman fan. No, I'm saying I'm a Batman fan. It's Iron Man's pretty much the same damn thing. Billboy, billionaire, smart.
There's no superpowers. He just has a technology.
Yeah, and I love the cockiness.
Right? Hell yeah, it's fun. He's a funny character.
The cockiness.
He's
I love the thought behind that. They were like, anybody who cosplays as Batman or Iron Man is technically Batman or Iron Man.
Yeah, it's not difficult.
Now number 2 is Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
The merc with a mouth. All right, like in the comics, bro, it's just hilarious. He breaks the fourth wall. He knows he's in the comic book. He's the only superhero that knows he's in a comic book or in a video game.
Yeah,
because when the video game came out, he is just hilarious. And when they finally came out with the movie, Ryan Reynolds killed it, bro. Ryan Reynolds killed that character.
For sure. I'm excited for him to come to the MCU, like officially.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Number 1 is Spider-Man. Hands down Spider-Man for me, bro.
I thought you were picking somebody else.
Which one?
Shit.
Who you thought was going to pick?
I thought you were going to pick Wolverine.
Oh, see? I was thinking about putting him around 3, but I couldn't pick him over Iron Man.
Ooh.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man for me, and I'm talking about like OG Spider-Man, bro, not the like. Remember, I'm an old head.
The new one's nice though. I love
it. The new one is nice. The new one's nice.
I love Tom
I'm
Holland.
just saying. But when you talk, like when we were talking about the movies, no one even mentioned Spider-Man, which I kind of understand why. But like, Spider-Man is such a popular character, dog.
It is.
Maybe I'm a homer because I'm from New York.
He
got the. Did you guys see the stats off of the new trailer that just dropped?
Yep.
It is now the most liked. It's the most liked video on YouTube of all time. Like in the first 24 hours, it has over 335 million likes or views or something like that. I was like, yo, that's crazy.
And people don't even talk about enough. Like when you talk about Batman, right? When people talk about Batman, they always talk about Joker, the villains, blah, blah, because you have to have good villains. Yo, Spider-Man, he got Doc Ock, Green Goblin.
He's the Sinister Six.
Yeah, I say,
straight up, that's all you gotta say.
As I say, he got Venom, Carnage, Kingpin, Mysterio, Hobgoblin, Morbius, bro, like the vampire, like Rhino, Shocker, all these characters that you know. Like, hands down, to me, Spider-Man's number 1 when it comes to Marvel characters.
I respect it.
Hands down, bro.
Okay, well, quick to chat before I get to Mr. Never Chillin'. Shane said Spider-Man. Wow, he put Captain America second. I would have never fucking guessed. I thought that was your guy. That's your guy. Number 1, Iron Man. Love it. Respect it. My wife, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Thor. I like Thor as number 1, especially in the movies because she watches a lot of movies. She's not a comic book like us. So in the movies, he's amazing. I'm not gonna lie, he kills it. Fat Bull gonna be Green Goblin, new Spider-Man. You heard it first. Okay, Shane. He's talking about Spider-Man's friend in the movie. The Asian. He looks kind of Asian.
He's not gonna.
I ain't gonna front though. That'd be kind of amazing. It'll fuck me up.
Apparently, like all the villains are coming from like
the old ones.
The Spider-Man.
Yes.
The multiverse.
Yes. But I mean, it'd be cool. I don't know. It wouldn't be cool, but it kind of would. It would fuck me up if he turned on Spider-Man for some reason.
That would definitely be a twist.
Yes, it would. I would like it. Let me see. Meech, Iron Man, number 3. Number 2, Hulk. I like Hulk. I don't think people talk about Hulk enough. I like him. Number 1, Black Panther. I respect it. Or Hobgoblin. Yeah, true, bro. One of them. Okay. Mr. Never Chillin'. Let me get your top 3 Marvel superheroes.
Yeah, so this one's interesting. How I listed them out is probably not the order I would put as the most important characters. So I'm gonna rearrange my list based off what I have written down. But number 3 then is going to have to be Iron Man. Just because of how dope he is and like how creative he is. Like he's like the smartest person in the world other than like obviously Hulk.
Right.
I forget his name.
Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner, yeah, thank you. Draw a blank there. But so it was just like my man could literally solve anything. Like he literally, because of Endgame, they were able to time travel because of him. He was like, I just figured it out. I wasn't really trying to do this, but I just figured it out. Let's go do it. Like my man does and then he sacrificed himself.
Love it.
Spoiler alert for anybody who's never seen the movie for some reason.
Cried like a fucking baby. I ain't gonna lie.
Cried like a fucking baby. Is
Yeah.
not a lie. Let's take a shot to that one.
Yes, sir. I will. I'll take a sip. I got my sip right
I'm
now.
with you.
Rest in peace, Iron Man. I love you.
But my next one would have to be Scarlet Witch.
Ooh.
After watching because like I know her from the comics. I don't really read a lot of the comics, but I know the history from the comics. But watching WandaVision makes you realize how powerful she is, and at any given moment, like she could really like manipulate and do whatever she pleases. And I'm intrigued to see where she goes from WandaVision, because there's not a season 2. For those who don't know, there's not a season 2 coming for that show.
Yeah.
So it's playing into all the movies that are coming out in the new phase of content that's coming out, because they're going to TV shows and movies and stuff like that. So
I love
it'd
that
be really cool to see that. Like she could be, but the thing is, she can also be an anti-hero. Like she can really be that not hero, but let me do this crazy shit like Deadpool does.
Yes.
And Venom is,
Yep.
and whatnot. So it'd be pretty cool to see where she goes from here, because she is officially now known as Scarlet Witch.
Yep.
At the end of the season, she finally got her official name. But my number one has to be Doctor Strange.
Ooh.
And it's because my man can literally predict the future, but also change anything at any given moment. And we just learned it from the trailer from Spider-Man. Spider-Man was like, I need everybody to forget who Spider-Man is. Like, because his identity broke, and he was just like, all right, cool. I'm going to whip up this spell or whatever he does, and boom.
Yep.
Everybody has no idea what Spider-Man is, but something went wrong in that trailer that leads to the plot of the story. But it's just like, Doctor Strange is one of the most important characters of the entire MCU because of what he can do. Like, he literally teleported everybody in the Endgame from wherever the fuck they were at. They were like, I'm going to do this. You're coming with me. Like, do you not have, like, he's like the most, like, in Endgame, he was like not idolized or like not shown enough time or respect because of what he did. If it wasn't for him, none of them people would have showed up for that fight. And Thanos would have won again.
And he knew what the one scenario was going to be be able to beat
exactly the one scenario that he did not, where he could not tell Iron Man at all. And he was just like, "This got to be the chance, right?" And he couldn't say it, but he did it. So those are my top 3 Marvel heroes.
I completely respect that list. I love the Scarlet Witch pick. She's super dope. I was actually telling my wife before WandaVision, like when we saw Infinity War, I was telling her that Scarlet Witch is the strongest. She probably will be the strongest at some point. She kind of showed you why. Mikey, what's up, bro? How you doing, Brody? Welcome. We're talking about our favorite Marvel superheroes, bro. If you got your top 3, let me know. I'm about to go through my top 3. Before I get to mine, Marcus said, number 3, Spider-Man. Number 2, Hulk, and number 1, Wolverine. And I like
also, one last thought on WandaVision. You see, WandaVision predicted the date the trailer of Spider-Man was going to drop.
Oh yes, that was like an Easter egg.
I saw that shit. I was like, "What the fuck? Like, are you kidding me?"
Yeah, it was like circled like on a calendar.
Like, no one would have thought that. Nobody. Like, it was just all part of the show. Like, and then boom, that's when the trailer drops. Like, we weren't thinking of that.
That's exactly why I love Marvel, because they throw little subtle hints that you got to catch.
That's why they will always be better than DC. I'm sorry for any DC lovers.
Preach. You are 100% correct, sir. On to my number 3. Number 3. I went with people that I just liked, like who I thought were super cool, who I loved as a kid. My number 3 is going to throw everybody off, and I'm okay with that. And I can't wait. My number 3 is I don't really like Marvel. Okay, I understand that, bro. I do like Hulk and Wolverine. Like it. My number 3 is
What's your top 3 DC characters then?
Yeah, you give me DC, even though I will do that in a later show.
Yeah, we gotta do that later, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, if you want to, if you like DC more, you can give me your DC characters, bro. I'm with it. My number 3 is going to be Gambit. I feel like he's a forgotten. Yeah, I feel like he's a forgotten dude. Super dope looking character. He was supposed to have like his own movie. I'm not sure what happened, but Channing Tatum was supposed to play him. I wasn't too happy about that. But
that'd be dope.
Yeah, he was supposed to have like his own breakaway movie. I think that they'll introduce him once X-Men gets back on.
Well, because he's part of the X-Men, right?
Yeah. So I think
that's probably the problem why we haven't seen him yet, because X-Men was just bought out by Marvel and Disney.
Yep. So I think that they're gonna do something with that. But yeah, Gambit is super dope with the card throwing, the stick. Like, I loved him. I thought he was super
that's
dope.
Gonna be dope.
Yeah. Number 2, I'm gonna go Wolverine. Again, another X-Men. He's just like super dope, bro. I don't know. Wolverine doesn't even need an explanation. Like, dude's just amazing. Like, and even like the movies, they just had so much more deeper meaning than other Marvel movies. And my number 1,
Logan.
Logan was amazing.
So what did you think of Logan then?
It was amazing, bro. It was amazing.
Especially being the first rated R movie of the MCU or whatever.
Yep, it was nice. I loved it. Wolverine got to be second.
And the setting it up for the female Wolverine. Like that was...
Yep. And then even deeper than the movies. Again, just me playing like back in the day, I remember playing like Nintendo and N64 and things like that. Like he was such a big part of like how it looked, the yellow and the blue. And I remember playing fucking what was it, Marvel versus Capcom, and I would always use Wolverine.
Man, like, it was like that at the arcade, like Chuck E. Cheese back in the day. It was like, do I play Teenage Mutant Ninja Mutant Turtles or do I play X-Men? Like Wolverine games like at the arcade? I was just like, fuck, which one do I play?
And then the funny thing is, whenever you sat at the X-Men arcade games, I was fighting over Wolverine. I wanted him because I was like, bro, he's so cool. So it's like, I gotta put him there. And number one, I agree. With Danny. Gotta be Spider-Man. I love him, and he's just such a likable character. It gives kids something to look up to, and I love what they did with Into the Spider-Verse. We had the first Black and Puerto Rican, Spider-Man,
Miles Morales,
and they made it all about.
He could show up.
They made it all about inclusion, and I love that they said you could be Spider-Man too. It gives kids something to look up to. Even as adults, we admire it because it's a kid. He's very just kiddish, and you can relate to it at times. Like you sympathize with him. Too. Yeah, you sympathize with him. Yeah, you're right. He's very humble, and it's just being a kid again, man. You can really relate to that. So I love Spider-Man, and I did say we could throw in a random person if you just wanted to.
You did say that. Yeah.
Mention. I'll break the ice with the honorable mention. I'm gonna go Silver Surfer, another good dope character that hasn't been introduced yet, that will be soon, and he's gonna. Well, he was, but he wasn't. Wasn't he? He was with Wanda, right? Wasn't he in one of the Marvel movies?
Well, that's an interesting part you're going to get into because that same actor played Silver Surfer in Fantastic Four,
right?
But they brought him into this, but he wasn't named that. He was
something else,
like
right?
Her brother,
right?
It was her brother, but like it could all play into the multiverse where he's the Silver Surfer in one world, but he's her brother in this world, or whatever, however it plays out. But yes, you are correct.
He hasn't really been brought into how he's supposed to. I'll just say it that way, like the super cool looking version. But I know heading into like the next couple phases that I know he will be a part of it because they're gonna get into bigger, badder people, and he has to be in it. So Silver Surfer is gonna be an amazing superhero. He already is, if you remember him back in the day. Dirty Dan, you can give me your honorable mention real quick if you got one off the top of your head. If not, we can go to Mr. Never Chillin'.
Yeah, I don't have one off the top of my head right now. I'm not gonna lie.
I understand.
You know what? I got one. Blade.
I was gonna say him. Yes.
Blade.
Yes. And he's not officially part of the MCU yet. Not officially.
Not yet.
Blade.
But he will be because he does got that movie coming out. So maybe that's how they tie it.
Marsha Ali. I think that's how you say his name. I don't want to mispronounce his name. But he's gonna be amazing. Before I get to Mr. Never Chillin', H2O, people sleep on how smart Spidey is. Yes, bro. He made the web shooters himself. Correct. Deadpool and Spider-Man are my favorites. Deadpool would be a close honorable mention. I love Iron Man, but I feel like everybody else does also. So I already knew he'll be mentioned. So I went with just my cool characters.
Oh, you knew he was gonna be mentioned by me for sure.
Yeah. I know he'd be mentioned by everybody. Because Robert Downey Jr. even, not even talking about comics, he just absolutely brought everything to life. So I know everybody loves Iron Man. Dad said yes, Blade. Yeah, Blade was amazing, bro. I love the movies. How about you, Mr. Never Chillin'? You got an honorable mention on the top of your head?
Oh, of course. I actually got two that I'm just going to cover real quick because I feel like they symbolize more than just the hero itself and in that universe, but Captain Marvel and Storm.
Ooh, Storm.
Both really big characters, and the fact that they symbolize like a vision for young girls growing up. They give somebody like a legitimate superhero to look at that is like legitimately about doing the right thing, and that's where I really think it is. But it's like Storm plays the opposite of what Captain Marvel does. Captain Marvel is legitimately all about good and like doing the right thing, but Storm plays that. Let me hover over this gray line. Because she can do some bad shit that happens in her timeline too, but she can turn evil at any given moment, just like WandaVision. So it's just like it's pretty cool to see these female characters come into play and the power that they possess. Like Captain Marvel can legitimately do whatever she wants. She can fly through space. She can breathe in space. She can move big ass ships by herself. Like, she doesn't need anything else. Like, she legitimately can do anything. Like, she almost beat Thanos by herself.
Almost.
And Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America couldn't do them together.
Yep.
Come on.
That's a great point.
That's why they would be arguably my
Hey, listen, I love it. My wife said girl power, LOL. You know, I have a daughter, so yes, nature has no picks, true balance. I agree. And, you know, even
man, I'm a big supporter with females,
yeah,
man.
hell yeah.
Big
I would
supporter.
say, you know, like the new Thor is a female. We're going to have.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting transition when we see
Black
that.
Panther might be a female. We don't know who's going to replace him yet, but I know his sister in the comic books replaces him. That'd be fucking crazy. Even deeper, you got, I don't know how to say her name. I always forget, but she's also in Black Panther. Her name's like Oyoki or something like that. I always forgot to say her name, but she was Michonne and Walking Dead. She's super dope. She's super dope. So like they definitely like when they did the part in Endgame where the females got together, I was like, oh yeah, dope. I was like so happy.
But I feel like that was like forced, like one of those like
bit.
Why did they like group all the females together? Like why weren't they like mixed in with the dudes? Wasn't it didn't seem like I was like in a incorporated into the team, like, oh, the females were over here, you know.
No,
like,
you're right.
I don't know. I feel like that part was fused, but I know what you meant.
Yeah,
I was like,
good.
oh man,
that's
like
that
really.
It was forced, but that Iron Man with Pepper in both suits, that
was dope. That was a dope part.
Literally 2 seconds.
I wasn't expecting Pepper to be in an Iron Man suit.
And it was like just 2 seconds worth, and I was like, holy shit! Like I was just sitting there like. The greatest 2 seconds on Earth. They went back to back and had the thing come out their chest. Yes, it was amazing. Pepper Potts was, oh my god.